Everyone says buy a home in a good school district. Even if you don't have kids, this fun line must be drilled into your head by every mortgage agent, realtor, or uncle out there. And it's true, good schools boost resale value. But here's the thing, the measuring stick for good schools I feel is completely broken. In today's video, let's talk about why you should not be buying a home based on school ratings alone and how smart buyers actually evaluate a good neighborhood. So let's get started. If you are new to this channel, my name is Avjot and my mission is to retire 1 million immigrants with $5 million. Whether it's investing in real estate, stock market or smart retirement planning, every video on this channel has been designed to build you wealth step by step. If you want to join this mission, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and let's grow together. So in today's video, we'll be talking about 5 different topics. The first one is why school districts matter. The second one is how to find the schools for any house that you're looking at. Third one is the Fraser Institute ratings and why they are flawed. I think that's where a lot of people get wrong, and I'll talk about why. Then we talk about how using ChatGPT to research a school property, and that's something that I've done when I was buying last year. And finally, we'll close the video on how to really pick the right neighborhood. Let's start with the obvious. Homes in top ranked school zones almost always sell faster and for more money. Why? Because they attract stable families, lower turnover, and higher community engagement. Even if you don't have kids, the next buyer might. And that means better resale for your home. So yes, school districts matter. But how to measure a good school district is where people get it wrong. Now, before we get into that, I want to first talk about how to actually research about the schools that cater to the house that you're planning to buy. So it's actually pretty simple. So let's say your realtor has sent you a deal, which is amazing. So this is the value deals group that I have opened right now. We actually share amazing deals every single day. If you're a first time home buyer or if you're looking for an upgrade, I would highly recommend that you join this value deals group. It's a free group to join and I share really good deals, just as sales. My team is just, doing amazing job, with keeping this updated. So this is a Markham value deal. This is Markham. Basically, Markham is a really good school district, and this is a semi-detached home, 4+2 bedroom, 4 bath, really nice separate entrance, and overall, after you put the basement on rent, you would be spending about $31.50 net, which is amazing, right? So, it's a really good, home. Now, obviously, there's no, there's no address here, but I know the address. The address is 73 Cole Luke Lane, Markham, Middlefield. What I'll do is I'll just go and I'll just start from the beginning. I'll just say school district, Vaughan Checker or Markham Checker or whatever it is that you are, whatever the neighborhood that you are in. Let's say you are doing Mississauga, just replace it with Mississauga. If you are in Kitchener, just do Kitchener. Whatever it is, right? So just school district, the city name, Checker. And I'll go to the first link. Sometimes it's the second link, but let's say it's the first link here. Find your school now, and I'll put in the address. It's 73 Cole Luke Lane, Markham, and I hit submit, and I will get the list of all the schools which are here. Most of my clients are interested in the elementary schools. There's a a color coding here, so elementary, secondary, IB school. So you can actually go and see here which are the schools, and it's as simple, right? French immersion schools are also here. This is if you buy this house, this is the district that you are looking at, and you can actually go to website link and you can. So that's how you check. That's how realtors check. That's how you can also do that when you are comparing different homes on which schools will cater to that particular home that you are interested in. And like I said before, if you are buying in Mississauga, Kitchener, wherever you are buying, you can actually do that because every city, every town would have a similar website just like this. Now that you know your school district and the school that will cater to the home, let's break down the system that most home buyers rely on, which brings me to my next section, which is Fraser Institute ranking. The biggest yardstick in Canada for school performance is Fraser Institute. It collects standardized test data, which is reading, writing, and maths, and ranks those schools from 1 to 10. That's what you often see on listings. It's a high school rating, it's a 8 school, 9 school, 9.5 school, 7.5 school. Those school ratings that you see, they are basically Fraser Institute rankings. And let me show you how you can actually check that for yourself. Let's again go back to our example, which is Allen Fairclough Public School. This is the elementary school that we have. We now go to Fraser Institute. We compare school rankings here. we put the elementary school, and the school rating here is 8.5, which is considered pretty good. Anything over 7 is considered good. If you use Fraser rating as a yardstick, only use that as a yardstick, and I'll tell you how it's flawed. But let's, click on learn more. And if you see this, like it can show you school ratings for different years. You don't have 2020 and 2021 because the school ratings were not done in those years because they were COVID years. But you will see that, it has actually done pretty well in the last, like 2023. 2024 ratings are not out for the school yet, but you can tell that this is a pretty decent school and it's improving. 2017 was 8.6, now it's 8.5. Now the problem with this one is that if you look at the table here, it only looks at reading, writing, math. It calculates by age group, by gender. And overall it gives a school rating. It's pretty you can tell that it's very different from like what happened between 2022 and 2023, that it jumped from 6.8 to 8.5, and you'll see that some of the scores are higher. That's exactly why I feel that these Fraser rankings are flawed. All they are looking at is academics. Where they are flawed is they are not looking at the quality of teachers, their experience, extracurricular programs, cultural diversity, student well-being, or parental involvement. So 8.5 rated school might be academically strong, but socially narrow. On the other hand, a 7.2 school could have incredible teachers, rich extracurricular programs, and a community that truly cares. Therefore, Fraser is a starting point and it's flawed, and it's not the final verdict. It's like reading a calorie count on a menu. It's useful, but it doesn't really tell you whether the food is good for you or not. Now that you understand the limitations of Fraser rankings, here's how to do a complete 360-degree research on any school or any district in 2 minutes. Now, once you have the school name and the, like the city that they are in, what I'll do is you can actually copy and paste this. I've already made, like a prompt for this. I'll just copy and paste that in the description. You can just go in the description of this video. You can copy and paste this as well. But you are an education and neighborhood research assistant for home buyers in Ontario. I'm actually making ChatGPT my education and neighborhood research assistant. I'm considering buying a house in the school zone, and I'll write school name here. So let's go back to Ellen Fairclough. And I'm just going to paste that here, and I'm going to say this is Markham. Using latest info you can find online, Fraser rankings, some results, school board websites, news, forums like Reddit. Give me a summary of academic performance and trends, programs and extracurriculars, diversity and school culture, any potential red flags or controversies, anything that a home buyer should know before buying in this catchment. I think that's a good starting point, and let's just hit on enter. After a lot of thinking, ChatGPT has given me a complete, like a paragraph of everything that there is to know, and including, all the, so it's talk about academic performance and trends that we already saw. It talks about two different scores. It says that math is a little bit mixed, so that's something to note, and you can just read through this. And again, you'll do it for your own school, right? So program extracurricular, it talks about sports, art and music. They have a dedicated music room. That's great. There's leadership and culture. It's just breaking down in different heads. There is a summer school as well that they have a wacky science world for grade 4 and 8. That's great. Childcare, wraparound. So obviously there's a before and after school care. That's not very uncommon of schools. Diversity and culture, highly immigrant, heavily South Asian area with lots of young families, townhomes. Now, I didn't make this up, right? So it's just saying what it has read through. It's not trying to be racist or anything, right? So students new to Canada from non-English speaking countries at 3%, which is low compared to what you would expect. An older profile pegs. It's an older profile, so it's dated. Okay. A very multicultural, majority visible minority population. So it's pretty heavily Indian, Gujarati, Urdu kind of a neighborhood. So, okay. That's an interesting insight. If you are someone, now 8.5 school rating, that makes sense because South Asians are pretty good at school and maths and stuff like that. So again, I'm just generalizing, but that's not where I'm going with this. So there are some red flags. There are no major scandals or controversies. That's great. Enrollments towards the summer school are low, which is not that great. So you will get a pretty good idea about where to go with this 8.5 school rating, and you have more color around, each of the different factors that you should consider when you are considering a school for your kids. For example, I did not know from an 8.5 school rating that they have a music room. I did not know that the concentration of kids would be more South Asian. So that's something that I could actually know if I run the research the way I did. Now let's take this offline and talk about how smart buyers are really picking the neighborhood. Fraser rating and ChatGPT are really good starting points, but that's not it. If you really want to do a vibe check of any neighborhood that you are wanting to live in, we need to do 3 or 4 very critical things, and you need to do all of them. First of all, we should walk the neighborhood and see how the society or how the how the neighborhood feels like. There's a vibe to any neighborhood, right? If you have ever looked at homes, you would know that what I'm talking about. There's a vibe to the neighborhood. You'll see kids going on cycles. You will have you'll go to parks and you'll see kids playing. Their parents will be there as well. You'll see the concentration, whether it's multicultural or not. So it's really important that you do all of those things. So here's without confusing you, here's what I'll do. The first one is walking the neighborhood. Just walking the neighborhood for an hour. Maybe go on an evening walk and walk that neighborhood to see what the vibe is and what kind of people are walking the same neighborhood. The second one is I'll go to a neighborhood park. So whatever park you can see where you have swings and you have kids playground, just go there and sit there for an hour, for 2 hours, and see who is coming. Again, this will give you a really good vibe of the neighborhood and whether you can see yourself living in it or not. The third thing that I'll do is I'll actually visit the nearby big banner grocery store like a Walmart or a Food Basics, and again see who are the people who are shopping in that neighborhood. That will also give you a real vibe check. And the fourth one, and that's something that I did when I was buying my forever home, is I actually went to the school, the neighborhood school, and I made sure that I spent 2 hours outside of that school, again doing that vibe check, understanding who is living there. If it's very important and it's underrated. It's extremely underrated. I spent a total of 5 to 6 hours before we removed our conditions in that neighborhood, actually talking to people. I bought the home in June, so that's when we put the offer. It was summer, and I actually went. There were people who were mowing their lawns and they were cutting weeds and everything. I just went up to 5 or 6 different people. They were walking their dogs. I just went up to 5 or 6 people and I told them that I just bought a home and I'm planning to remove my conditions. I was very upfront with them. Or I'm planning to buy a home in this neighborhood. Do you think it's a good neighborhood? What are the red flags? What are the things that you really feel I should know before putting an offer on a home in this neighborhood? Spending real time on the ground beats any ratings or any ChatGPT search that you can ever make. And I understand that you are not comfortable talking to people like that, and that's where your realtor should step in. Your realtor should be going and doing all the legwork for you. I'll give an example. Almost I think this is 6 weeks ago, there was a client of ours. Now they have already bought a home. I think they are very close to closing as well, but they actually went to a neighborhood in Kitchener and it looked like a very nice neighborhood. So there was nothing wrong with the neighborhood and the price was really good for a house that they were planning to put an offer. But there was something that it felt like it's very close to not so good area. The area looked good, but if you go a kilometer away, it felt like it was not that great. So the realtor in my team, they actually went up to someone who was walking their dog, and they looked like it was a family, so they had a stroller as well, and they asked whether they live in the neighborhood and what they think about the neighborhood. And they told us that 1 kilometer away there's a rehab center, there's a drug rehab center, and that has caused a lot of trouble in the last 1 year with homeless people coming and walking the neighborhood and it's a nuisance, right? So I'm not saying and again I'm not marginalizing anyone here, but I feel that if we had not known this actually tipped the client to not put an offer on that house, and because it was important for them. They are a young family, they had 2 kids, 2 small kids, and their kids would be going and cycling in the neighborhood, and you would not want a lot of homeless in the same neighborhood. I'm not saying they are unsafe, it's just not an environment that they wanted their kids to grow in, and that was important, and that's where we did not put an offer. And thank God we met those couple, and our realtor actually went and asked about. We do this for almost all our clients. Like we'll do that if we feel that there's something off about the neighborhood. But yeah, that's something that you don't have to do it. That's why your realtor is really experienced, and they don't have those same inhibitions of not talking to people, because otherwise they'll not be realtors. So make sure that your realtor is doing that legwork for you. So yes, school ratings matter, but they are not the whole story. Buying a home isn't just about numbers. It's also about the life that you live there. Look beyond the Fraser score. I hope this video was useful. If you want to know the process of buying a home, I'll recommend that you go to the description of this video and click on the 45-minute first-time homebuyer masterclass that I have. It'll give you the process. It'll give you a lot of other things about what to know when you are buying a home. It'll give you some checklists, some closing clause checklists, and as a couple, what you need to do before you actually go into buying a home. There are some really good nuggets in there that you'll really enjoy. Just go to the description and you'll have access to the masterclass. That's all I have for today. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.